You don't have ADD.
I do have ADD.
Really?
Yeah.
I have ADD and I can't. How do you game for hours at a clip and have ADD?
I don't know. Maybe the ADD was like developed over time or something after I stopped gaming. It's possible.
All right.
Yeah. But anyway.
You ready, boys? Let's do this. Ready, Gregor? Yeah, kid. Welcome everybody back to another episode of the Handsome Homebuyer Podcast. My name is Charles, a.k.a. the Handsome Homebuyer, formerly Captain Permit, but we still love him. 516-513-8838 if you have a permit problem. And if you have a house that smells like cat pee, dated from the 1960s, 6 inches of mold on the wall.
You want to buy it.
Human waste.
I'm dead.
Greg?
Renovated in the 60s or whatever.
You know the deal. If you have a house, if land, commercial property, whatever it is, I'm quick, I'm easy.
You want to buy it. You're a good time. And you want to buy it.
We're just...
Sometimes you take that line out.
All right. I want to buy it. 516-777-SOLD. And obviously this podcast and every podcast is sponsored by...
Cardinal Financial.
Sal Rizzola specifically out of the Patchogue office. We love him. Listen, everybody in real estate, do you own a house?
I do not. No. I have an apartment.
That's a better thing. I flip 100 houses a year. I own an apartment. I mean, I live in an apartment. I rent an apartment. I don't own an apartment. Owning real estate is an overrated experience.
Is that so?
Let's not tell. No, well, owning real estate that you rent and make money off of is amazing.
Totally.
Owning real estate that you live in is an overrated experience. Just don't tell the people that buy the houses from us every week.
Grant Cardone said that too, right? Or one of those like major real estate moguls.
I did see that. Grant did say that recently. He
Yeah.
said nobody should ever own a house. I personally believe nobody should ever own a house.
Interesting.
Yes, but then I get into a relationship and I have a girlfriend, and then my girlfriend says, I want to have a house.
As she should. I agree.
Why?
Because it's nice. It's nice to feel like you can make a home out of something.
Why can't you make a home out of a rented house?
You can, but...
I'm sure your apartment is very homey.
It is. It's very homey. It's very girly. It's my personality emulated in my living space, which
There you
I
go.
love. Yeah.
So this proves my point.
Yeah, that's true. I guess so.
But if you're not like today's guest and myself and you want to buy a house, you need a mortgage, most likely, and you need Sal Rizzolo. If you're a real estate agent and you're taking offers in, and you should be taking offers if you're a real estate agent, you need those offers screened so that the deal doesn't fall apart in the 19th hour. For that, you need...
Sal Rizzola.
We're good now. We're getting there. All right, so today's guest, we're talking social media, right?
Yes.
Social media is our thing. We're in a social media studio.
It's amazing.
We preach social media 24/7. I don't know who listens, but they should, because social media can change your life. One video can change your life,
Big time. Yeah.
as cliche as that is. So I'm here with Kristina Crowley,
Yes.
Simply Social.
Yep.
You are a social media expert,
Yeah, sure.
right?
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Expert,
You are.
strategist, the go-to social media guru. Yes.
All right, I like it. I like
Yeah.
the way it sounds. So we don't know each other. We're about to get to know each other. The world is about to get to know you right now. I saw you on a podcast, and I started looking at your page, and I was like, oh, she's got some really great tips. And then I started stealing some of them.
Amazing.
Like the hashtag thing, only 3 hashtags.
Amazing.
So I thought it'd be a great idea to get you on here. Let's talk about kind of your story, what you do, and most importantly, let's give out a bunch of free tips to people on what they can do to better their social media. Because if you're not on social media,
Missing a big boat of opportunity.
yeah, you're a
Big
realtor on a
boat.
bus stop, and no one's calling you
Yeah.
off your bus stop ad.
Yeah.
They're not.
It's crazy.
So I guess I'm curious to know, how does one become a social media strategist?
It's really funny. I kind of just fell into it. I loved computer games growing up. I loved online chat rooms and forums and things like that. I'm getting there. So,
Okay.
but I also
Computer
love
games or video games?
both.
So you are a gamer.
Totally.
You have the headset.
At heart. Never used the headset, but played every video game under the sun probably growing up. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. But loved that. Loved working with people.
You don't have ADD.
I do have ADD.
Really?
Yeah.
I have ADD and I can't. How do you game for hours at a clip and have ADD?
I don't know. Maybe the ADD was like developed over time or something after I stopped gaming. It's possible.
All right.
Yeah. But anyway, so reason why that is, and it's interesting because I had such a love for gaming and computer systems, but I also loved people and I love working with people. I feed off of other people's energy. So social media kind of just, I guess, marries the two of them together in
Okay.
a cool way like that.
So how did it happen? Like, so obviously you own and operate your own business.
Mm-hmm.
You just said, I'm really into it, self-taught, or were you working in social media at another company and then you're just like, you know what? I'm doing my own thing.
Yeah, so started out in college. I was interning at a data center as a social media admin.
Okay.
You know, starting a social media account from the ground up, growing it.
Any experience with that, or was it like the classic kind of you're like older business that doesn't get social media and they're like, you're a young person with a phone, let me hire you to do social media?
Pretty much, yeah. And it wasn't very highly accepted either. This was back in like 2014, 2015 when social media for business was kind of still seen as taboo.
Okay.
So me coming in there, it was interesting because people were not as excited or interested in learning how to use social media to benefit their business.
Okay.
So over time, I got a job as a marketing director at a mortgage company. So kind of got my foot in the door there and was teaching loan originators and real estate agents on how they can use social media to optimize their presence, reach borrowers, buyers, sellers, and any partners in the industry.
How receptive were they?
Not receptive at all at
Yeah.
first.
So it's interesting. It's like I do a lot of like biz dev stuff with Cardinal, and that was one of the big things. One of the big things where I sat down with all the guys and I'm like, listen, it's very easy to do business. You want to do business with real estate agents, right? You're calling real estate agents every day saying, hey, let's have coffee. I want to tell you about our products. No realtor wants to listen to that.
Yeah.
But if you call a realtor up and say, listen, I want to collaborate in a video, or I have a podcast that I do and everybody wants to hear your story, all of a sudden everybody wants to talk to you, wants to be featured, wants to talk about themselves, and all of a sudden you're doing business. So it's like a super powerful tool.
Absolutely. I think a lot of them are a little apprehensive to even start with social media because they don't know how to begin. They don't know how to use the platforms. They don't know what to post. They don't know when to post.
Yep.
All of the above, you know? So that's why I'm here, is to make it easy and fun.
So you just you honed your skills, I guess, over kind of like the last 10 years or so of just being in the mix, working for different companies in social media. And then what was the moment when you're like, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm doing my own thing.
It was in 2020, in the heart of the pandemic. My main responsibility at the mortgage lender that I was working for was, again, teaching our LOs how to use social media, all the strategies that I was learning. And over time, some of the LOs would call me on the side and be like, hey, can you run my social media account for me? Like, we'll pay you on the side to do it. Like, are you open to that? And I was like, if the demand is there, sure. So started my own business. And it was kind of more as a side hustle, I guess, for the first 2 years. And the real moment that made me say, okay, I need to go all in on this was back in July. I got let go of at my job.
Okay.
So
when the market totally changed.
Yeah.
So basically it was pandemonium for
Yep.
those who obviously everybody who listens to this is into real estate, but it was nuts.
Yep.
Rates are low. All of a
Yep.
sudden rates are high. Mortgage business went from this to like this. Mm-hmm. So they cut a ton of staff, I'm sure.
yeah, so the company that I was working for actually got sold. So
It's ICG.
no, it was Luxury Mortgage Corp, and Cross Country bought them.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, the retail division. That was my division, was retail.
You guys were out of Melville?
Yes, actually. We had
Okay.
an office in Melville.
Got it.
Yep, mainly in the Northeast, non-QM lending,
Wow.
all that stuff.
I got to tell you though, I give props to whoever hired you because that's a very progressive thing to do.
Yeah.
You know, especially at that time because nobody was doing it. Now these guys are just starting to like dip their toe in the water. Mm-hmm. Like we're getting into AI and people are finally realizing social media is a thing.
Crazy, right? Yeah.
So what happened? So you're laid off. It's COVID. No, it's not COVID.
COVID is when I started the business.
Got it.
And it was a side hustle really up until
I'm
this
with
past
you.
July.
I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm back. So July, the rates shoot up.
Yep.
Everybody gets fired, gets
Yep.
sold off.
Yep.
Now you find yourself jobless.
Yeah. And I was like, what do I want to do here? There has to be a bigger purpose for it, right? Like 2 days before I got let go from my job, I lost my best friend from college. So that was hard. It was like 2 big hits back to back. And I was like, there's a bigger purpose for me in this life. There's a bigger purpose for what I'm doing on a day to day. And I feel like the only way I'd really be able to tap into that potential and really give back the way I wanted to was to dive all into my own business. So
Nice.
It was scary. It still is scary, but I'm having fun doing it.
So a bunch of different things. What is it like? So what was the transition like for you? Because running a business is very different than being an expert in something.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of learning curves to overcome. Thankfully, I'm not doing it alone. I have my cousin who is my business partner, but he
Okay.
is the accounting, finance, by the books kind of guy. And I'm
Okay.
more of like the creative mind behind everything. So
Got
it
it.
is nice to kind of have somebody there whose strengths kind of complement mine in different ways. But there's definitely a learning curve when it comes to being a business owner versus being a marketing manager or director.
100%. It's a totally different skill set.
Totally different. Yeah.
So What are the services so that I and other people understand what is it that you exactly do for people? Like what are the services that you offer? How does it work?
Yep. So I do social media management, which is probably my most popular service that I do. So that includes everything from crafting and creating a social media strategy, creating your accounts, auditing your accounts, creating the content, the copy, the hashtags, managing the accounts, community management, making sure that you're engaging with other people to help grow and leverage your accounts. That's all on the organic side. I also do paid advertising. I'm a writer, so I write blog posts and yeah, all the above.
How do you do all this stuff?
It's a lot. ChatGPT helps, but no.
Yeah, I mean, are you actually posting for people as well?
Yeah.
So you are soup to nuts. Like somebody comes to you and says, because I guess everybody realizes that, hey, we have to do social media, but like you said, they don't know what to do.
Right.
And a lot of people don't want to be bothered to actually do it.
Absolutely.
So what happens? You bring them in, like, how do you create the content? How do you come up with the concepts? Obviously, you're a social media expert and you have people coming to you from a lot of different businesses, or is it just mostly like one type of, is it mostly concentrated in the mortgage world because that's where you came from? Or is it a whole bunch of different businesses right now?
At first, I was very real estate centric, so mainly working with different brokers and loan originators. But now I've kind of branched out to women's health and wellness, personal training. I have a drayage company that I'm working and managing their accounts for right now, which is super random. So all over the board, really.
So how do you manage it all, right? Because when I think about running a social media company from a business standpoint, I'm like, okay, you need camera people, you need editors, you need people coming with creative content, you need people that are researching trends, who's posting, what are the popular hashtags. There's so much research. It's like, it's a lot. And then you're not in that business, so you don't necessarily know what the thing in the mortgage world is, or the flipper world, or the drainage world. How do you do all that?
It's interesting. So I have a formula that works on different social media platforms. So let's say that someone's goal is that they want to grow to 5,000 followers on their Instagram account. I have a specific formula that regardless of what industry you're in, if you follow it, you're guaranteed to get those results.
Okay.
So it's a mix of content, strategy, engagement, all three of the things.
So you literally, which is awesome because this is my thing that I've been, side note about just realtors. Like there's a lot of realtors that want to work, but they don't know what to do every day. You're literally giving them a roadmap.
Pretty much.
Here's your social media roadmap.
Yep.
Like Monday, you're going to do this. Tuesday, you're going to do this. Like you're going to follow my plan and we're going to achieve this goal in X amount of time.
Yeah, and there's different tiers to it. So I mainly work with startup businesses. I really love helping people launch their accounts off the ground, especially when a business is new and emerging. I like to, that's kind of my specialty.
Okay.
So the cool thing about that is I have clients that are coming to me with all different budgets, all different, experience levels with social media, and then different budgets of what they're willing to spend. So if somebody wants to kind of say, hey, Kristina, I'm hands off, take care of everything, send me a monthly report and send me the bill at the end of the month, and then we'll take care of it, we could do that. But then I also have another option where I actually created an online course that teaches startup businesses exactly how to use these social media accounts. So if they don't have the budget for it, but they're willing to spend the time to learn how to use these platforms from a trusted source, I have that option for them too, for a very low cost every month.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So somebody comes in, they just start a business, and they're like, take me through it. Where does the content creation come from? Like, do they get their own video people? Do you coordinate? Do you refer people out? Do they come in and meet you places? Like, how does it all work?
Really depends on what their goal is. Video content creation is a little bit different. So I do some white labeling work. I am partnered with another company that helps me out with all of that video creation. Not a video expert by any means, shape, or form, but I know how to take that video and make it, appealing to the masses online. So that's where my specialty comes into play.
So can you give us like a little bit of a sample of, let's say someone's like, here, healthy budget, new business, I want to start getting followers. What's the plan?
Sure. So typically I like to break everything down into a 4-week plan. So I like to do everything monthly. In that 4-week plan, we will talk each day. We'll have a different piece of content, but all the content is going to kind of come together and work together to be, again, appealing to the masses in whichever way that may look like. So once I get the content plan and strategy out together, I'll put it down and I'll, color code it, make it, in bullet points, and I'll say, okay, this is the piece of content you're posting on this day. This is the caption, and these are the platforms that we're going to deploy it on. This is the time of day that we're going to post it. So I'll send that over to my client once they look over that and say, okay, yeah, this looks good, concept looks good. Then I'll go back, my team and I will then create the content for them on their behalf, send them the content so they know exactly what they're getting and the day that they're should expect to see it on social media. And
Got
then
it.
once they approve it, we'll go ahead and deploy it out on social.
Oh, Jesus Christ, this sounds like a lot.
It's so fun.
I mean, it's very cool and fun. I'm
It's so fun.
I'm just thinking from like a management standpoint. Like we do construction, there's like 40, 50 houses going at once, and
Yeah.
it's chaos.
It is a lot.
But I see what you're doing as like even crazier. Like,
It is crazy for sure.
depending on how many clients you have, you're creating, they have to, sign off on it. Who's posting? When's it going to happen? So typically, how much, like what platforms are you recommending people be on? And is it different platforms for different type of businesses? If someone's starting out, do they start with certain ones and then grow? You think everything is good? What do you think?
Absolutely. So I think it depends on who your target audience is. You want to meet your target audience on the platforms where they are.
Okay.
So if you're trying to appeal to the masses, Instagram and TikTok is going to be really great if you're posting short form video content. But if you are trying to do any B2B business, you're going to want to make sure you're on LinkedIn. If you're looking to get organic traffic to your website, maybe get a couple inquiries, Pinterest marketing is really, really big. Facebook groups for referrals. A couple plugs right there. But yeah. So it really just depends on who your target audience is and where they're going to be spending the most time.
Do you see a couple things performing best right now, or does it really depend on your target audience?
So I actually tested this out on my own accounts a few months back. So I, for recently, just started creating short form video content.
Okay.
No professional lighting, no great audio, nothing crazy, just myself, my iPhone, and pressing record. So I
Okay.
posted about 40 different videos on all the social platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok,
So
everything.
So basically 40 different videos and you post them on each of the platforms to see how they...
I wanted to
Yep,
see
got
which
it.
platform really which platform was really taking to them in a good
Got it.
way. So I guess there was one video that performed really well on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
grew my account from 1,000 to 10,000 followers in 30 days.
Isn't that nuts?
Insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. Yeah, like 350,000 views and counting, and averaging about like 300 new followers a day, all from that one video. It's wild.
Have you gotten any business from it?
I have. Yeah, I have. I get about 3 or 4 inquiries on my website a day too. So that's pretty
Wow.
cool. Yeah.
Just off of your organic social?
Just off of organic social. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What, and then, so basically you're saying that Instagram performed best in your opinion?
Yes. So that's the platform now that I'm focusing a little bit more time on. I'm still posting on the other platforms, but Instagram is where I spend the majority of my time.
That's interesting. It's interesting you're getting that because everybody's on Instagram, so people say it's harder. So for you to be doing well on Instagram means that the content's really hitting.
I hope so. Yeah. It seems like it.
How important do you think the actual content is itself from the standpoint of, like, there's a lot of people that make excuses not to create content because they feel awkward creating content.
I was one of them. Yeah.
But I think everybody
I get
is.
it,
Everybody
yeah.
goes through that. But there's a lot of people that use the excuse. They'll say, you know what, I don't have a professional video team. And I would argue a lot of times that doesn't matter. Like my most successful videos that I have are just me with my phone.
I say that all the time, and I think it's because people they crave authenticity from other users. Like social media can be seen as very fake. There's filters, there's untrue information that gets thrown around all over the place. So I think that if you're authentic to yourself, and even if that is just taking your iPhone and recording something that could be beneficial to a user on the other end, you'll be in great shape. I agree.
Nice.
Yeah.
So just so people understand a little bit, I preach to everybody, whoever's listening, whoever listens. I'm like, I think eventually you have to be on all platforms because depending on what you're selling. I might be wrong. That's just my feeling on it. My thing is always like, all right, I want to be on all platforms because there's certain groups or demographics that are only on Facebook because of their age, or LinkedIn because they think it's professional.
Yep.
And if they're looking for your service or your product and you're not there, they're not going to know about it.
Absolutely agree. And then now all the news talking about TikTok potentially getting banned also. So if you're putting all of your eggs in one basket, but there's a bunch of other social media platforms available,
Yep.
you might be missing the boat in that sense too.
And it's just interesting because I've heard there's more of like a resurgence to Facebook, where Facebook is, obviously older, but for some reason like Facebook fan pages are now taking off, I've heard, and just Facebook ads in general, the ad spend is down because the economy is a little dicey, so
Sure.
it's doing much better.
Yep.
So I guess kind of for everybody out there, myself included, can you kind of give a little bit of an abridged version of kind of an explanation of each one of the platforms and how you think people should be catering content to that platform?
Sure. And like which tools and resources on each platform might be beneficial?
Even better.
Amazing. Okay. So TikTok is a popular one. I get questions on TikTok a lot. TikTok is a great platform if you're trying to reach the masses because there are so many people that are using the app on a day-to-day basis.
I'm so addicted to TikTok.
It's crazy.
I don't want to be.
I know.
I don't want to be, but it just knows what I like all the time.
That's exactly it. And then once the TikTok algorithm starts to favor your content, you're gonna take off, which is great.
You know what it is? I have a love-hate with TikTok because like I'll post a video and it'll just go bonkers.
Yeah.
And then like every other video for the next like 6 months will get 3 views.
Is that so? Really?
And then all of a sudden something will take off again. I guess it's real interest-based, but even if I try to like, catch lightning in a bottle twice with a similar thing, it just doesn't work.
You know what's interesting? I recently read an article that if that's what's happening to your TikTok page, it could be because the algorithm doesn't know exactly what your content is talking about. So if you can match your content, or at least the caption that's corresponding to your video, to match whatever's coming up in the search bar, if someone is scrolling through your video, that is what's going to trigger the algorithm to be like, oh, this is a video for first-time home buyers of documentation that they're going to need to qualify for a mortgage loan. It'll come up in the search bar, and yeah.
How important is what you're writing and how important is the caption versus the video? Like, is it really important that they relate?
Very much so.
Because sometimes I post all my own stuff and I'm posting like basically breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Sure.
So sometimes I'll be in the middle of doing a million things and I will skimp on the post on what I'm writing. I'll skimp on the hashtags. Although I've been good with the 3 hashtags since I watched you that time.
That's funny. Yeah.
So are you saying that there's a very strong chance that since I'm skimping on the caption that it's not doing as well as it could?
Absolutely. I mean, TikTok, you're a little bit limited because of the character count that you have in your caption, but for Instagram specifically, there's been some rumors going around that it's now becoming more of like an SEO app. So the way that the algorithm is going to read your content is based on how descriptive your caption is in correspondence to whatever it is you're talking about in the actual video. And the video that did go somewhat viral for me had a very descriptive caption, emojis, keywords, hashtags, and I guess it just helped reach the right audience.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so keep diving.
Takes
TikTok?
a little bit of time. Yeah, so TikTok is great to reach the masses. Now, once you have your brand and your credibility built up on TikTok, Instagram is a great platform where you will can I talk today? I don't know.
You're good. You're good.
Instagram is a nurturing platform. So you can funnel everyone from your TikTok to Instagram because think about how much more engaging Instagram is with your audience members versus TikTok.
Okay,
People can send you DMs really easily. They can reply and react to your stories, and you'll be able to follow up with them and have a one-on-one conversation in a really nice and easy way. They'll also be able to get to know you a little bit more on Instagram. It seems to be a little bit more personalized.
Okay, that makes sense. I never thought of that, but that makes sense.
Yeah. Facebook is also great because it's, I feel like, the OG social media platform. It is a little bit of an older demographic that is using it. But I will say Facebook groups are an excellent way to get referrals.
Okay.
One of my favorite ways to market organically.
So let's drill into that a little, right? Because I say the same thing also. I talk to realtors and they're like, I want to get more leads. I'm like, yo, you have to be like the mayor or the mayoress of, let's say, a town. So you want to be like Lindenhurst or Patchogue or whatever it is. Like, you start a fan page.
Yeah.
Give people some tips on how to start a fan page, what to post, how to nurture and build a community so that ultimately it turns into business.
Absolutely. So have a post plan. Every week you should know exactly what it is that you're going to be posting on your content. And I would recommend the 80-20 rule. I don't know if you're familiar with the 80-20 rule.
Not how it applies to, are you saying like business to personal stuff?
Correct. Yeah. So 80% of your content that you're posting on your fan page, your business page, anything should be personalized or community focused content. Only 20% of the content that you're posting on your business page should actually be pushing your product or your service.
Okay. So, all right. So it can be all business related, but not pushing the product or
Correct.
service.
So
Okay,
what you
got
want
it.
to do essentially, your goal on social media, well, what I like to tell my clients is that you want to build relationships. It's meant for users to connect with other users. So people will be more attracted to your page if they feel like they can relate to them. So make a note of who your target audience is and the characteristics that they have. So if you can name your ideal client, who would they be? What are they interested in? Where do they live? How old are they? All of the above. If you can make a note of all of that and then tailor your content to what their interests are, you'll have a likelier chance of them actually inquiring about your product or service whenever you do end up posting or soliciting it.
How important do you think having an actual strategy versus just going at it?
Night and day difference.
Yeah.
It's like working smarter, not harder in a sense, because if you're just kind of like posting and ghosting and you don't really know and you're just kind of having content there, I mean, it'll be good to see that you have content on your page and that you're relevant, but you can tell the difference a little, you know?
What do you think about the concept of like is more better?
It's interesting because it's great to have a lot of content on your page, especially if you're trying to grow. If you're a new account and your goal is like, you don't care about how many people you're getting business from, but you just want a ton of followers on your page, more is going to be better. You're going to want to post 6 stories a day. You're going to want to post to your grid every day. Some creators even say posting 3 to 4 videos a day, which is a lot, but that's the way to, grow your account for some users. The more research that I've done and the more work that I've done with clients across different industries, I've noticed that the strategy behind posting 4 times a day with a story at least every day across all these platforms perform way better because the content is more thought out. You'll have more time to create really good content and then also correspond a really attractive caption.
4 times a week or 4 times a day?
4 times a week.
Okay,
Yep.
so 4 main posts a week with at least 1 story.
Yes.
You feel works better than posting daily or multiple times a day?
Yeah, I think so.
No, it's interesting because I put out a lot of content because I'm just kind of wired to put out a lot of content
Yeah.
and shoot a lot of content. But the interesting thing is, if I really look at it, of all the posts, it's like a handful of posts that really drove all the followers, right?
100%. Yep.
But then the catch is you don't know what's going to blow up and what's not going to blow up.
That's also true. Yeah.
So it's like, what do you do? Is more better because it just ups your chances of something hitting? But then again, then you see people like real top like TikTok creators that I see. It's 1 post a day. It's 1 post a day. They know exactly what their audience wants.
Yep.
They dial in, and every video is like millions and millions of views.
Because they know. And then they've also trained the algorithm to know who their target audience is too. So now the algorithm knows, okay, this creator is targeting first-time buyers. Let's be sure that anytime someone is pulling their credit online or inquiring or searching about doing a home search on Google, we'll show your video to them. That's how the algorithm works. It's interesting.
Yes. So I want your opinion on this, I guess, because there's something I got TikTok. I started posting my normal like real estate tips and things, how do you make money in real estate, et cetera. And we started doing these 3D printed houses.
Oh yeah, that's really cool.
So I started posting about 3D printed houses, and the account, like, in like a month, 160,000 followers, right?
Amazing.
So now we're done with the 3D printed build. I'm going back to my normal stuff, and it's just like it's stagnant and dropping. And I guess it's kind of like you were saying before, what they don't know it, like the audience is confused.
Yeah, trending content is also really good. So 3D printed houses, that's something that not many people have seen before either. So that's something that's very new in your industry. And I've noticed that new trending industry content also performs really well.
Yeah, so now I'm trying to like rebuild the page because like if I'm not posting the 3D printed stuff, now I kind of feel like the people that are following me aren't interested in what I'm talking about. So it's kind of now I have to turn everybody over to a certain extent.
Sure, yeah. Or find like something that's trending in the industry. You know what I also noticed is controversial content performs really well as well. Okay. Really well as well.
So what is your advice to somebody who's looking to be controversial?
No, play your cards right because people get offended very easily online is what I've noticed. You can post about something, it could be taken completely out of context, or you can post something that's as innocent as giving Instagram growth strategies and causing an uproar from creators in your comments section saying, posting 6 stories a day is way too much. Posting on my grid every day is too much. I'm a small business owner. I don't have the time to do this. X, Y, and Z. That's what happened with my video right there. But what that did was that controversial opinion of me saying Instagram is going to be favoring accounts that do this caused an uproar in my comment section, but in all the right ways because it was causing conversation between users. So
no, it's always entertaining to see people on TikTok especially go at it in the comment section.
Oh my God, it's hilarious.
They're brutal.
I know, unhinged.
Which kind of brings me to this question, which is, what is your opinion on like fighting with people in your comments or getting offended by things people said in the comments? Like I let it go. I just let it go. Do you feel it's better for the post if you actually get in there and
100%. I always say respond to every single comment that you're getting on your post, whether it's positive or negative. Yeah.
Wow. So somebody put something nasty in there, you're in.
Yeah.
Gloves off.
Yeah. Kill them with kindness. It's great.
Okay.
Unless someone's actually being like a troll and is just being really, really mean, I would just like delete and block. But if someone's giving you like a quote unquote negative comment or like constructive criticism on your post, it's great to respond and acknowledge them. And 90% of the time, they're actually really nice and commenting back too, which will help again boost your video to get seen on the explore page.
So let's talk about LinkedIn for a little.
Yeah.
What do you got?
LinkedIn is so much fun. I've noticed that video performs really well on LinkedIn, especially as of lately. Gary Vee said this about 2 years ago, and some podcast or some keynote speech that he was giving. And he said, post all your videos on LinkedIn. They're going to blow up. And my engagement on LinkedIn from my videos is huge, which is really great. LinkedIn is also copying the other social giants like Instagram and TikTok. For example, they recently released LinkedIn Stories, which didn't really perform that well.
Yeah, and then it was gone one day.
And then it was gone.
Yeah.
But the new feature that they have, which is LinkedIn Polls, is a really great way to...
Putting up a post that polls the audience?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
What is it?
Yeah, it's great because just like, as someone likes a post on LinkedIn, it'll get filtered throughout all of their connections and then all the other ones. It's like the reach is incredible. And any post that's going to be really engaging on LinkedIn will be good. Similar to Facebook, LinkedIn groups are a really great way to connect and network with other people for referrals.
YouTube Shorts. Have you played around with YouTube Shorts at all? Yeah, we did this skit like 9 months ago. Nobody watched it, and then all of a sudden, I have no idea what happened. Like 2 months ago, it blew up, and now it
so
has
funny.
like 1.3 million views.
No way.
And I'm like, what? We're all looking at each other like, what happened? I probably picked up like 3,000 or 4,000 subscribers off this one video.
That's amazing.
That again was on like a 6-month delay.
Yeah, crazy. And that's a big thing that's happening too. So again, trying to keep up with the big social giants, releasing a short form video app. I've noticed that the shorts that perform the best are ones that lead to long form videos on YouTube's platform. Okay. So if it's more or less of like a commercial or a teaser for something that's greater on the platform, that's usually performs well.
This is a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's
a lot of research. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of planning. It's a lot of it's
Yeah.
a lot of time to like shoot it. Even if you're like, a one and done type of person, it's a lot.
It takes about, just for me, like shooting, recording, editing, and then crafting the copy for my caption is probably about like an hour and 15 process.
For one video.
For one video.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot.
So my Achilles heel of social media, where it doesn't matter what I do, I suck at it, is Twitter.
Twitter's a rough one, isn't it?
Some people crush it.
Yeah. I haven't had much success on Twitter either. I think it's more for news, industry-related news, tweets getting the word out there. I don't focus on it a lot. Not many. I think I have one client right now that is actively posting on Twitter, and they're not really getting business from it. It's just to stay relevant in their industry.
I think a lot of people have questions on, how to shoot the content, how to put it together. Do they bulk shoot it? Like, do they shoot longer form and then chop it up into shorter form? Like, what is your advice to people on like basically the most efficient way to create content?
Yeah, I think try out a bunch of different ways. So start off by just creating one video. All you need is a smartphone, maybe a tripod so that you're not, holding it yourself, good lighting, and a really cheap microphone that you can get on Amazon that you can hide, through your clothes or whatever. Take that and then just try recording a video and talk to the camera as if you're talking to a friend or talking to someone that you're already in conversation with, and just see how the video flows from there. I'd like to keep it to about 60 seconds max. That's, usually the length that people like to watch. Attention span always goes down. But in terms of bulk content, I've done both. I've recorded content in bulk and I've also recorded separately. Of course, it's going to be more time efficient and easier for you to record content in bulk, but I've noticed that it's a lot more relevant to create single videos step by step, depending on what's happening in the industry, where you're at in your business, and things of that nature.
So what are some like kind of individual platform tips? Like before, like the one that I'm using now is the whole hashtag thing.
Yeah.
What other kind of like secret algorithm hacking things can you share with us?
I love using Pinterest to generate organic traffic on your website. It's so underutilized and it's an amazing platform.
Know it well. I don't know. Yeah, we used to mess with it a little bit. We haven't. I don't know it well.
Creating about 4 different boards, all in topics of interest in your industry, posting short form video content and also content that will redirect people back to your website or back to a blog if you have as well, performs really well.
So when you say direct them, you mean as part of the video, you're saying check me out on XYZ or a link to something? What do you mean by that?
Yep. So the video will actually have a link embedded to your website right there. So you don't even have to plug anything in. If someone is interested in your content on Pinterest, they're automatically going to click. It's automatically going to redirect someone back to your website.
Jesus.
Yeah. But no one's using it, which is so crazy.
And it's been around forever.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's great. I love to use it for personal stuff.
Uh-huh.
But we never really got into it.
Yeah. Might be something to consider.
What can you say to people? I think another big thing you caught on it before you touched on it before, is that people don't know what to talk about, or they feel like they're not interesting, and that no one's going to want to listen to them, and they get very caught up on like the views. Like I have friends, I know people who are like, oh, this video didn't take off, like did delete, right? So how do people come up with interesting concepts and ideas?
I'm going to give you guys like the key ingredient to my secret sauce. It's called answerthepublic.com. Yep. It's a good one. So what you're going to do in answerthepublic.com is you're going to type in a keyword or
doesn't
topic
matter
of interest.
What business you're
anything, any industry that you're in.
Answerthepublic.com.
Yep. You're going to type in a keyword. From there, what the system is going to do is it's literally going to search through the internet to see exactly what people are looking for around that area of expertise or around that industry or topic of interest, anything.
Yeah, here it is, answerthepublic.com.
Yep.
So I go to this website.
Go to the website.
Enter a topic, brand, or product.
Mm-hmm.
Real estate investing. United States English. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
675 results.
Then you're going to scroll down and you're going to see the questions that people are typing into a Google search bar asking about real estate investing right there. So you can tailor your content based off of what people are already searching for to answer their questions without them actually asking you.
Is it the keywords that are broken out by like in alphabetical order? Is that what it is?
Yep. You can take a look and see. It's like there's going to be like what, when, how, where.
Real estate investing app, association, advisor. Do you click on those?
If you keep scrolling down, then you should
go.
be able to see the actual questions that people are asking. I don't have my phone on me, otherwise I'd show you. Totally free to use also, but I think there's only a certain amount of searches that you can do per day on that.
Oh, Jesus, this is awesome.
Really cool, right?
This is awesome.
Yeah, so all your content ideas can come right from there, and that's exactly what people want to know.
Answerthepublic.com.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm on this. What I thought I found it. Well, actually, no, it did work. Which Scott told me about a few weeks ago is if you go to Google and you type in whatever it is, halfway down the page, there was answers to those questions will pop up. And then the more you look at it, it kind of like grows and grows and grows.
Yep.
So some weeks I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't know what to talk about. I just go there, I put anything random in, and then I start playing off that. It links you to all kinds of articles.
That's another really great way to go about it. Yep.
I started recently doing like a bunch of green screen stuff. People seem to be into that.
Nice, yeah.
How important is it, like once you have someone following you, how important is it that they watch all your stuff or that they're just seeing you?
It depends on, you want to be top of mind to that person whenever they think about your area of expertise. So for real estate investing, you want to be the first person that they think of. For social media marketing or social media tips, I want to be the first person that they're thinking of. Yep. So staying in front of them consistently is going to be important, but you're also going to want to nurture them too. So if this is someone that's following you that you think you can really benefit, business-wise from them, give them a follow, start liking their stories, maybe wish them a happy birthday if someone's posting a bunch of stories for them or something like that. Like their posts.
Just don't be creepy.
Yeah.
Nobody likes you to be creepy.
No one wants that. Yeah, but just nurture them and engage with them a little bit more. It's important for them to be seeing a lot of you. So, yeah.
Where do you see this? So you've been in business for almost 3 years, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where do you see this growing? What's your vision for? What would you like it to develop into?
Oh my gosh, I have such dreams and aspirations and goals. But basically, I really want to be a thought leader in the digital marketing industry. I want to be the go-to resource that not only is sharp and knows exactly what she's talking about and up to date on everything so that I can be of best service to my clients, but I also want to help as many people as possible. I want to grow Simply Social into really just like a digital marketing machine. Like I have courses that I'm creating, concepts, and I want to just be able to leave people feeling excited and happy to grow a social account and to really feel excited when they start getting their deals and business closing.
Most satisfying part of your job?
Working with people every day.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You really love people, huh?
I do, yeah. I feed off of their energy for sure.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
No, I can imagine you having a business that just started and someone's like, hey, listen, like I don't have a lot of money. Like I know social works. What can we do? And then you help them build a strategy and all of a sudden they're getting business and money's coming in and you're a direct reason for that.
And it's so fun and it's so rewarding. Like when you are putting in your time, your effort, your strategies, and you're seeing the positive ROI from that, it's really cool. There was a House flipping company on Long Island I worked with during the pandemic, and I was creating their Facebook and Instagram ads. We were running them for about 30 days or so. They ended up closing a deal and it got them $62,000 in profit. So
amazing.
that was really cool. And that was my first 6 months in business too.
What are your thoughts on paid social? From the standpoint of some people talk about boost, let's back it up for a second. There's a lot here. What platforms do you think, because you can do paid social on any platform.
Yeah.
What platforms do you think are best? What kind of content do you think people should put out, and how does the strategy come together?
Great question. I actually just talked about this with one of my clients this morning. So organic social really should be the 80-20 rule of 80% community target audience focused content, and the other 20% is plugging in your business. Now, when you're paying for ads, you should only be talking about your product or service or your business. I love using Facebook and Instagram. Their ads are really, really good. And they have a good rep for a good reason. You're killing two birds in one stone with one ad spend. LinkedIn ads I would stay away from because they're very pricey. Don't see a ton of ROI from there. Pinterest is also really great because it's so underutilized. But I would post content that is specifically talking about your product, and specifically how your product could be a solution to a problem that your audience or your ideal client could be facing.
Video versus picture ad. What's the length of time? Should it be very well produced or simple? What are your feelings on that?
If you're spending the money on advertising and if you're creating a video, it should be short and sweet, no more than 30 seconds long. And I do think it should be professionally produced for sure.
Got it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Always videos, never pictures. Do you see the videos perform much better than pictures?
Not necessarily. Carousel posts are performing really well also. So carousels are essentially just multiple images, part of one post or one ad. And those are performing really well also.
I guess the moral of the story of all this is there's no magic bullet.
Uh-huh.
You just have to be into it, constantly innovating, constantly changing. Because I guess when you find an ad that works, it only has a certain amount of time before it goes stale anyway.
Right. Yeah.
So
exactly.
You constantly need to be doing new and fresh things, be shooting, creating, and all that.
Yeah, and just knowing what your audience likes to see. Study and audit your own accounts too. At the end of the month, I like to take a look at all the content I've posted on social through the analytics and see, okay, what piece of content performed really well? And then analyze that one piece of content and say, what is it that made this video hit more than the other one? And then, craft and tailor your strategy to be more fitting to the content that your audience is really appealing to.
How important is the data? Do you sit down with your clients at the end of every month and you go through the KPIs and you say, this is how he performed, this is what's doing well, this is what's not, these are the hours, this is what we should be posting? How important is that?
Very, very important. Yeah, we go through everything. We go through how many followers you're getting. We go through the amount of likes that you're getting on your page, the shares and the saves, which are really, really important, that are kind of, overlooked a lot of the time. But that's your goal, really. If you're posting on, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, whatever, you want to have your users save your content and then also share it, whether it's to their story or to a friend as well. So we look at the shares and the saves specifically. We look at follower growth. We look at unfollows as well. And we look at the content and the content types that are performing really well. And we tailor our strategy the next month to match the data that we find.
Interesting. No, this is awesome. I learned a lot. I'm sure people really learned a lot. If people are looking to connect with you, hire you, converse with you, how do they get in touch with you?
Yes. So I am coached by Kristina on all social media platforms. Coachedbykristina.com is my website, and that's coached with a C and Kristina with a K.
Love it.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm the handsome home buyer. If you have a house, CAP, not CAP, built yesterday, I want to buy it. Don't forget Sal Rizzolo. I appreciate you guys. 516-777-SOLD. That's a wrap. Thank you, Jen.